to Mr. Poole. This hearing is not about Fannie and Freddie, but you interjected your thoughts about Fannie and Freddie in your testimony. As you know, it emerges as a huge issue in this Congress. And as the ranking member of capital markets, it's one of those issues that I'm going to be very much involved in. And while I have always supported the mission of Fannie and Freddie, we recognize that they failed us and they got into trouble, and we've got to straighten it out. And one of the things I want to do is I want to work very closely with the opposite side of the aisle and take the politics out of dealing with this issue so that we can reform. We do what we have to do to make sure that we don't get into the kind of situation we're in before. Now, you talked about how easy it's going to be for private firms to pick up the slack quickly. What private firms are you talking about? Are you talking about Bank of America? Are you talking about J.P. Morgan? Are you talking about Citi? Are you talking about Goldman Sachs? Are these the firms that had no problems, that didn't need a bailout, that could pick up this slack quickly? Who are you talking about?
Yes, those would certainly be among the private firms that can pick up.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry, speak right into your microphone.
Do you want me to expand at all?
No, I want you to speak into your microphone so I can learn which of the private firms can take up the slack quickly.
I didn't say for sure that they would pick up the slack quickly. What I happen to believe that they would. Other countries, high-income countries, operate mortgage markets without intermediaries of this kind, and they work just fine. There is no evidence that those intermediaries are necessary for the mortgage market to operate satisfactorily. And if you are worried about how quickly private competitors could come in, if you think I am too optimistic, then there is a plan, I outlined it, to phase it out slowly and allow time for the private competitors to build their business plans and to come into the market.
Did some of these private firms that you're thinking about, like B of A, who we're working with now, dealing with serious problems with robo-signing in this loan modification effort we're trying to do, or J.P. Morgan, or Citi, or Goldman Sachs, all of whom we bailed out, having the same kinds of problems, or potentially having those problems. You think these are the kinds of firms that can pick up the slack?
There's no question that those firms have created some problems for all.
Just like Fannie and Freddie, would you say?
But I would like to emphasize that some years ago, both Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac had serious internal problems with their accounting systems. They did not file reports as required for the New York Stock Exchange, for example, for a couple of years. So the issue here is not whether the private firms sometimes make mistakes, and indeed very serious mistakes. It's a question of the relative effectiveness of the government firms and the private firms and the cost and risk to the taxpayer.